What if I told you that you got to travel the world and all your housing expenses will be taken care of? Here's some spending money for your travel expenses, and you got to bring 3 companions with you. That's our story. We're gonna tell you more about it.
Live Anywhere program was announced in June 2021, and there were over 314,000 people that applied. Wild. Colin was one of the 12 participants that was selected to be a part of the program, which meant we had to pack our bags and get ready for a year of travel.
Livy, check.
Check. Everything check.
This was like too good to be true. A huge company, a reputable company like Airbnb said, go travel, bring 3 companions with you for the whole year. We said yes, and it was the wildest year of our life.
A lot of people have asked us, but how were you chosen to be a part of this awesome opportunity? It started with an essay. It could be up to 500 words long, and we are going to read it for the first time since we submitted it over a year ago at the end of this video. So make sure you watch so you can read the infamous essay.
So in 10 months, we traveled to 15 countries.
We boarded 37 flights with 2 kids under 5.
And we left home for a total of 334 days.
We started way up in Alaska and drove even further north to visit Denali National Park and saw humpback whales down in Homer. Then we hopped on over to Scotland and lived on the Royal Mile of Edinburgh. We took our first RV trip to the Isle of Skye where Colin had a birthday. And then we rode the train down to England for a proper football game and had a long weekend in London where Liv turned 3. We spent a few days being absolute tourists in Paris before we spent the next month in Dubrovnik, Croatia, where we also got to visit next-door neighbors Montenegro and Bosnia on our weekends. Then it was off to Barcelona for some city life where we learned how to make paella and wished Charlotte a feliz cumpleaños. We ended Spain with a road trip around Mallorca and then spent the holidays in the Algarve before ending our European leg in the gorgeous city of Lisbon. In a twist of events with points and miles magic, we managed to spend a month in Hawaii where we got to experience a much slower island pace of life. And just as Australia opened up, we got our one-way tickets to Melbourne, where we celebrated my birthday. We tried van life for the first time on our trip down the Great Ocean Road, and we took another RV trip around Tasmania. The moment we had waited for years came true, when the Malaysian borders opened up and we got to go be with family. It was the first time a lot of Colin's family met Liv. We also went deep into the jungles of Borneo and experienced all the magic Malaysia had to offer. Gosh, it's almost over, I promise! Then we continued our way to all corners of Vietnam, riding trains up to Sapa, cruising through the Ha Long Bay, and hopping on motorcycles in Hoi An. Thailand was a food paradise, and our trips down south to the best beaches in the world didn't disappoint either. We had to see Angkor Wat, so Cambodia made the list too. A long weekend in Singapore with friends and amazing food was just the boost we needed to get to our last country, South Korea. We spent our last month in Seoul doing a whole lot of eating and learning about culture before we headed back to the US.
How long was that trip?
It would feel like 80 days.
How many days?
100 days.
What's your favorite memory from the whole trip?
My favorite memory is I love Hawaii because it got the beach there. I am a walrus.
Sing me a walrus song.
Wah 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 wah. Wah 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 wah. Wah 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 wah. Wah 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 wah. I love Malaysia because I like to see elephants because Mommy cried.
Follow this guy. See, the point of this video is not to brag because we didn't fully earn this opportunity. 314,000 people wrote essays, and so the chances were already pretty thin. But we're sharing this with all of you because we're now on a new journey to be a family of storytellers, and we want to bring you along for the ride. But we thought it'd be a good idea to show you how we all got started. Back in May of 2021, we decided to set aside $500 a month to go on a month-long trip somewhere. We're not rich, okay? We are a middle-class average family, one income. I'm a self-employed graphic designer, but we just really love travel. Some people buy boats, some people buy bigger houses. We just wanted to spend our money on travel. And so I set it at $500 a month because I selfishly wanted to be in New Zealand for a month. You know, I was shooting high. And so $500 a month, that would get us to $6,000 after a whole year. And that would get us plane tickets for 4, an Airbnb, and a rental car. Barely. But that was the idea. If I shot high, we could go somewhere every single year and do a month-long trip somewhere where it is new food, new culture, new environment for us and the kids, and just totally be immersed in it. Instead of our traditional, hey, let's go away for 4 or 5 days, and our itinerary is packed to the brim, we come home exhausted, and we didn't really get to just enjoy being there. And we did that for 1 month because the very next month, Airbnb released this article.
It was literally too good to be true. We had just set our budget to be able to do this on our own. So Colin texted me from the other room, he was working, and he said, "This is a thing, what should we say? We need to enter." And I just wrote back, "We love to travel the world with our kids." Or something very simple. And I think that fired him up, and he was like, "What kind of response is that? I'm gonna try to get in this thing."
Oh, and when she texted me that, I was like, no. It's on. It's on. Hey, my name's Colin Vickery, and I live in South Carolina with my wife Megan and our daughters Charlotte. This program is for
multiple interviews with the team, video submissions, essays, we had been selected to be in the program, and it could not have come at a better time. Colin could take 3 companions, so that's a good thing. Our kids were 2 and 4 at the time, so missing school was not a problem. We packed our stuff in storage. We had just bought a second car that we ended up selling right back. It was crazy.
Okay, so everything is not as easy as it sounds. It wasn't just this credit card that we could use all year, all expense paid. So here's how it works. We were given Airbnb credits that was enough for 10 months of housing allowance. And so we had to budget that for each month because the rule is we had to stay in one Airbnb for 28 days at a time. Point of all this is to do research for Airbnb on long-term stays, so that was the main goal of the program. So we had 10 months to be in 10 different Airbnbs, and so we really had to budget it just right. Second of all, we were also given a travel stipend to kind of just help us along the way to travel. But you know, as a family of 4, we also had to budget it and stretch it really far so we can make it a whole year. We still ended up using a lot of our own money. I had to play the points and miles game. We were budgeting the whole time. So there was a lot of strategy involved. We couldn't just travel long distances. We had to kind of chart our way according to plane ticket prices. And last but not least, this was also 2021. There was still a lot of travel restrictions, not just countries, I'm talking continents, hemispheres. There were parts of the world we couldn't even go to. We didn't have free reign, so to speak, but we made the best of it. And to be honest with you, I kind of liked having all those rules. It was kind of fun. It was this massive board game we had to strategize for each month.
Living nomadically as a family was also a sacrifice. While it was a yes to spending time together and exploring new places and seeing things, making these new memories, and ultimately just doing what we love to do, it was also a no to consistency, routine, having a home base, or even being around loved ones.
As romantic and epic as this sounds, it wasn't that easy, and it's not for everyone. And we made a lot of sacrifices to make this year happen. And yes, I still had to keep my job and work random hours to correspond with my colleagues back in the US.
Hello. You try.
Hello. Shell.
It says shell!
Okay, the girls are in bed. Every challenge that we predicted living abroad would bring, it all actually came true. And it wasn't the easiest year, but it was also an amazing year. And we'll cover all that in our next video on how we became travel content creators and how we afford to travel. But first, I think it's time to read this essay. Here we go.
This world is a good place. Even when headlines can be soul-crushing sometimes, this world is made up of humans just like me, and I want my family to experience it to the fullest. Living in all these different places will not only help the process of making my daughters amazing human beings, we get to have memories that will last us a lifetime. Airbnb has been a way for ordinary families just like us to have extraordinary experiences. I'm a Malaysian-born migrant to the United States, and I moved here by myself when I was 19 to pursue better opportunities in life. And 12 years later, I'm happily married to my wife, and together we have 2 daughters, a kind and adventurous Charlotte and a playful but sweet Liv. The walls of our home are decorated by past travels, and not a day goes by when our kids say, "Can we go there again?" However, traveling the world is not as wonderful as it seems. I've been to many cities and seen many famous landmarks, but after the buzz of getting that photograph wears off, you wonder if you've truly experienced it, or were you just one of the thousands of tourists that came and went? See, I think Airbnb is the way of cutting through that tourist curtain and truly experience the world, human to human. That human connection that Airbnb provides is something that will continually be hard to present on an Excel sheet or explain in one conversation or a YouTube video. However, I hope that through our diligent research, honest feedback, and careful discernment, we can make this product even better and help others embed the culture of Airbnb into their lives. We hope to make tourism human again. We realize that this is not a small opportunity to take lightly, but with it comes responsibility and stewardship. And as a family of 4 different skin colors and 3 languages, we hope that we can make these experiences sincere and respectful to all cultures. We hope that you'll consider our family to be on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure. Colin, Meg, Charlotte, and Liv.
We just want to say thank you, Airbnb, for this crazy, crazy year. And you that's watching, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe to our channel. We've got lots of places to go. We have lots of stories left to tell. And we're ready for it. Come along. Let's go.